Dutch Shelf Collectibles, here today in the Lake District at the Lakeland Motor Museum. Well, quite simply, I've already had a little wander around in here, and there is so many exhibits that it's difficult to know where to start. We'll take a wander around the cars, and behind the cars you can see all the other memorabilia that's here. Some of the motorbikes. There's a bigger motorbike collection upstairs. We'll go and have a look at those in a little bit. We've got Royal Enfield in the end there. Rally, a Rudge, another Royal Enfield. This is a 1913 Star, 12 horsepower. I'm afraid I'm not familiar with the car, but quite an interesting shape on the front there. Really unique styling on this. Let me come round and see if you can see it from a different angle. You can see the way that it's sort of quite a bulbous nose and then sort of sprays out for the occupant space. A 1920 Junior Auto Red Bug, little go-kart on the floor. This side we've got a Johannesburg fire pump. So this is a 1927 Dennis. I've said it before in some of my videos, the way these are finished. This is a fire engine, and when you look at it, you can see the intricacy of the bright work on here. Just they just don't make things like this anymore, do they? Look at the pedal arrangement. Now, I'm guessing, I'm going to come back to these pedals, there's a C and a B. I have no idea, but I'm guessing B is for brake, maybe. But certainly, a strange affair there. There's another Red Bug go-kart down in here. This one says it's an electric roadster. Yeah, there's a box on the back there with, I'm guessing was how the motor. Up on the ceiling we've got this hot air balloon, biplane there. This is a Ford Model T, 1920 Ford van with Blackpool Transport on the side and the tower. Such a small engine for a big van, but again, let's have a look inside. I know these do have a unconventional pedal arrangement. It's fantastic. I think I said in one of my videos that my wife and I, we had a Ford Model T take us to our wedding, and it was a bumpy affair, that was. Coming back to this side, we've got a 1921 Citroen Type A. Such an amazing museum. 1929 Fiat 509A. And a 1934 Hillman Minx Drophead Coupe. This is a 1933 Buick 8 Series CA. It's got a 3.7 litre engine in. Yeah, sorry, straight 8 engine. The headlights on the front of this. So we can see inside. This one here is a 1937 Bentley 4 1/4 standard. This actual car was owned by Donald Campbell, dating from 1936. Just reading here, this was owned, as I say, was owned by Donald Campbell. He actually bought the car in 1949. It was originally silver. I'm just going to go around the other side because it says that it's still got his St. Christopher on the dashboard, but I can't see it from this side. Let's have a look. Fortunately, it's a little bit too dark in there and it's just reflecting. So, yeah, unfortunately, I can see it see it through the window, but it's not picking up on the camera, so yeah, I have to leave that one. Just behind Donald Campbell's car here, there's a little display here, and you can see this twisted piece of metal here is part of K7 Bluebird. This is a 1938 Cadillac 75 Fleetwood limousine, 5.7 litre V8 engine. (1949) Turner. It's a light delivery tricycle, a tri-van. You see the engine sitting over the front wheel there. I've said it before, I love these petrol pumps. The Shell emblem on the top there, and again all this sort of advertising. A small aircraft at the top. This is a 1937 SS Jaguar 100, and it says here that the owner of this vehicle saw it as a schoolboy and fell in love with it and bought one, and this car's actually been in the continuous ownership of this person for 60 years. It really is beautiful. What a stunning car. It's a 1952 Citroen Model 11BL. And a 1955 Jaguar XK140. There's something about Jags, isn't there? Look at the lines on the side of that. The way it's styled. Again, the other side of the 1937 Bentley, Donald Campbell's car. There's an AA box here. Another petrol pump and firebox. This is a Humber, but I'm not sure of the age of it. Can't see a sign on that one, I'm afraid. You see the screen inside, which I'm guessing is sort of a wind deflector for any passengers sitting in the back. This sign here says Road Acts of 1920, mechanically propelled vehicles prohibited. In 1957 Austin A35. I'm just going to pan up here. It's one of McRae's cars. See the Ford up there, one of the rally cars. Now down the side of the museum, I'm just going to pan across again. You see all these shop fronts, and each one of the windows is quite a unique display. So let's just start with this first one. We've got some old clothes, and in here a Singer sewing machine. Got 1954 MGTF 1250. This is called Pop Goes the Weasel. You can see the top of the Pops record there and all the 1960s clothes in here. I actually think, going back, I mean the previous window, I guess that's sort of 19 1930s clothing. This is obviously the 1960s clothes. And this is the Emporium Toys Parlour Games. I did have a look in here earlier, and the trying set at the top there caught my eye. I've not seen one of those. I've certainly seen the office block built in a couple of museums, but I've not seen it boxed before. There's all kinds of... Down here, the motorbike game. I hope the camera's picking this up because it is quite reflective. There's a steam launch at the bottom. It's the other side of the Jag. So many things to look at in here. Right, another toy shop. This is called Treasure Box. Lots of dinky toys. It's difficult to know what to actually pick out. I can see this sort of mallard. Let's just zoom in on it. Wife just called me back to the Humber to show you this. In the top of the radiator here, you see the radiator cap, which normally you'd expect to see a mascot on there or something. But if I come around this side, I don't know if you can make that out, but it says normal, cool and hot on there. So it's actually the temperature gauge for the coolant. Yeah, I did spot that as I walked round. On the other side of the Citroen here, I just want to show you this item. Right, so this is being described as a 1930s Dodgem car, bought from New Brighton in Merseyside, sort of themed to look like an MG, but basically this ran round a track, and you can see the little bumper on the side here. This was bought in 1990 and fully restored. I suspect this is very, very similar. There's a park in the US called Kennywood, and they have a set of cars that run around a track made by famous engineer Harry Traver. That dates from around this sort of period, 1930s, and I wonder whether this is a very similar design to those. Right, this is a very special car tucked away here. This is the oldest surviving TVR. So this car is chassis number 2, built by Trevor Wilkinson, who founded TVR. This chassis originally was from 1947 and was built to race. The first TVR crashed and was destroyed, so this makes this effectively, although it was the second chassis, the number 1 car for TVR. And this was later reconfigured in the 1950s as a road-going car. But this is extremely unique. Obviously TVR being a manufacturer from Blackpool, and yeah, this is where it all started. Right, we've got a 1963 Humber Hawk Estate Series 3. Very 60s-esque, isn't it? And you can see the curved glass on the tail. Quite unique. This particular example, it just says on the side here, it's done 45,000 miles from new. (1956) BSA 600cc with a sidecar. A weighing machine. Don't see those very often now. Another collection of cars in here. This is a 1960s Austin A40. Yeah, just coming back to pick up on these cars at the top here. So this is a 1983 Bambi microcar. There's a couple of other vintage bikes up there. I'm not sure what that is at the end. Quite small. Let me zoom in on it a little bit. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I'll just come back around this side to get another picture of the TVR. Yeah, very special car indeed. Parked in next to the Jag. I've just noticed that the hood of the Jag is open. Beautiful. And something my wife was just saying to me as we're walking round is, as well as the cars, if I show inside here, the museum has put artefacts from the era of the car inside many of them, which is a really nice touch actually. It really does set the museum off quite nicely. Getting inside the Jag here, you see the shoebox and the map of France on the front seat. Just really does set the exhibits off, and makes quite a difference actually once you've noticed them and picked up on it. Ignorant me, I was walking through blissfully unaware, and she's, as I say, my wife pointed out to me and said, look inside, you know, it's as if the museum sort of run out of space to put various bits of the exhibits, and yeah, indeed, they've put them inside the vehicles. Yeah, in here, it's very difficult to get a shot because it's just reflecting. We've got a couple of cameras on the seat and a map of the Yorkshire Dales. So this is a very interesting car, especially for the rail enthusiast, believe it or not. So this is a 1959 scooter car, a Mark 1, and basically this was built by Hunslet Engineering Company. So Hunslet, obviously being the well-known train manufacturer, this is actually the wife of the chairman wanted a car that was easier to park than the Jaguar, and indeed this was developed by Hunslet Engineering as a scooter car. And here's a 1960s Messerschmitt, and yeah, my wife was just saying when they were at school, their teacher had a bubble car, and obviously with no reverse gear, as kids they remember pushing it backwards out of a parking space. 1990 limited edition Mini Cooper. I'll just go back to the shop here. You can see the display of Rowntree's chocolates and Coleman's mustard. This is badged up as a Co-op. We've got a delivery bike here with rod brakes on there. And again, more artefacts from sort of a post office, a weighing machine. Obviously the telephone, being part of the post office back in the day, and yeah, some sort of vehicles and memorabilia there. And a collection of some royal items. So we've got some mugs there from the coronation and the wedding day. The Jubilee Cup mug in the middle there at the bottom. I think I've actually got one of those. You see here, souvenir programme from the Queen's coronation, the Queen's wedding day. Yeah, very nice. I just spotted down here the Cyclist Touring Club poster, CTC. Fantastic petrol pump again. You can see all the advertising on the end wall, the enamel signs. Cycles built of BSA. Black Cat cigarettes at the bottom there. I've just noticed as well, there's a rally sign here. I mentioned about my connection to rally in the past, but yeah, very interesting. And just next to that rally sign is a bike shop window, and there's some wonderful things in here. There's over the back there's a puncture repair kits, the rally sign in the centre there, a Shakespearean character, Hercules, Brooks, all bike manufacturers that I don't think they're going anywhere. Got Moulton, there's a poster there for Moulton, and Schwinn. I know Schwinn are doing sort of toys now, but they were a serious manufacturer of bicycles back in the day. And you can see the cards hanging on here with the brake adjuster key. I remember in the shop I worked in, we used to still have cards hanging behind the counter with bits and pieces, and you just remove them until the card was empty. And this is a 1960s MGA roadster, but quite a special one. So this is a police spec. There's 50 of these made for the Lancashire Police, and until it moved over to the MGB, they were indeed using this as a police car. Yeah, stunning car. You can see the additional lights on the wing here, and obviously the police badge on the front. This huge siren. And now onto one of my bucket list cars, a car that I've always wanted to own and probably never will. 1966 Amphicar. I don't know, it's just I've always fancied an amphibious car. So inside you can see the big lever in the middle that changes the transmission over. And if I go around the back, let's just see if we can see the prop. Yeah, there's a mirror underneath. If I just zoom in on that, you can see the prop underneath the car, twin prop, that would allow the car to disappear into the water. Just coming back inside the Amphicar, we've got the secondary handle on the door that you would pull up to make the doors watertight, and you've got obviously a secondary drive on the floor there. But on the front here, there's an Amphicar driver badge, and I just love that slogan: united we float, divided we sink. It's a 1962 Triumph Vitesse with 1.6 litre engine. I remember my father had a Dolomite when we were younger, very, very similar to this. I think this was the slightly uprated version, but obviously a full leather interior. It says on here it's one lady owner for nearly 50 years. Get more advertising on the wall. Now, I didn't mention the museum. It's £11 to get in, which I think for the quality of the collection in here is well worth the money. As I say, fantastic place. So this is a 1974 Citroen DS20. I believe this is the one with the headlights that moved with the steering wheel. The first time that had appeared on a car, and obviously with the air suspension. And again, just going back to what I was saying about what's inside the car. See on the back seat, maps of France from sort of the 1960s period. The Citroen 2CV. Very nice condition. Very nice. Just come back and look at these motorbikes. Got an RAC Norton here from 1961 with the sidecar. And obviously the sidecar, I've just noticed, obviously is covered over, so I'm guessing this would be for the equipment for the RAC engineer. 1961 NSU Supermax. To the other side of the Humber, the estate that we looked at before, and again I'm just going to show this curved window on the corner, and then if I just pan the camera inside, you can see the museums put in there, a little wireless and various other bits and pieces in there. Got a 1953 Royal Enfield in the front here, a BSA. This is says on here a 1950s Bantam Major and a 1950s James. Look at the logo on there. I've not heard of that before. So 125cc. And the actual building we're in, if I just pan back across, it's an old industrial site. So it was a mill, and then it was a carton and wrapping company. It's just some information there. There's a Lister auto truck, basically for I'm guessing pulling commercial goods around the factory. And these are just a little display of the sort of cartons that were made on this site back in the day. This is a 1952 Velocet LE Mark II 192cc. Quite an interesting vehicle. I mean, this just on the side here you can see the speedo, but from the front that looks like it would be a fuel tank, but it's not. It's just a kind of cowling for your knees, I guess. You see the radiator just poking through. Again, more about the wrapping factory that was on this site before it was turned into a museum. It's a 1962 Ford Console Capri. A car tray from the 1960s, and various thermos and thermos flask and a picnic. Wonderful. This is around to the back of the Vitesse. And we've got a 1965 Peel Trident, and indeed the P50. This is the car that you may have seen on Top Gear with Jeremy Clarkson driving it around the BBC from 1964. And a 1971 Trabant. I really don't see many of those now. A couple of cutaway engines. I guess it's going to move out of the way because I'm in the back of the shot. And there's the Wankel engine out of Mazda RX-7. Got a Triumph TR5 dating from 1968. Stunning, stunning. It's when the Brits really could make sports cars. The wire wheels, they really are beautiful. What we've got on this side, a Spitfire. And again, look at all the advertising on the walls. Another petrol pump here with the Shell logo on the top. Yamaha motorbike. The 1978 British Clubman, Mini Clubman. Yeah, not my favourite car, ugly little thing. And on this side, a 1972 Ford Mark I Escort. This is the 1600 GT Mexico. My very first kit car was built with engine and gearbox out of the Mexico, and yeah, I had problems with the gearbox, and I took it out and left it on the side of the workshop I was working in, and the scrap man came around the next day and took it before I could stop him. So yeah, my Mexico gearbox went to the scrapyard, but yeah, that was quite a few years ago. Got a Volvo and 1980s Honda CBF. And 1982 Ford Cortina. This is a Mark V version. There's just so much to look at in here. The signs everywhere you look. Even I've just stood back and there's all these different signs along the top here. I'd really highly recommend coming here yourself if you can. It's it's difficult to do this place justice on camera. 1979 Ford Fiesta GL. Another 1978 Honda CBX. Suzuki 125. Let's go and have a quick look upstairs. Look at that advert there. The winner, BP, British Petroleum. Shell lubrication. Oh wow, look at this. So apart from what's inside these cabinets, look at the marquetry on here. There's a rebel kit of speed record of Mickey Thompson's speed record holder. Yeah.
Whether you're Dutch, French or English, scooter language is the same the world over. The problems are the same, although fashions can give the game away. No doubt about his nationality. How's this for real?
That's folding scooter at the bottom here. It's a 1957 Lambretta and 1996 Vespa.
There's no room for misjudgment in this elaborate crisscross routine.
Come back out there, a bit noisy. 1953 Norton. Sunbeam over here. Beautiful condition. And 1921 ABC. Look at the engine on that. Again, another Sunbeam. We're going here, it's a little bit noisy. It's a Norton. What we've got here, 1966 Suzuki, 1993 Honda. There's some racing bikes over here. I'll show you these. Just come back to this 1950s Vincent. Wow. Look at the brake setup on the front of it. Just back across the stairwell. What we got in here? Various trolley jacks. Look at the collection of Castrol jugs and cans over there. Lots more models and memorabilia in here. Again, look at the cabinets as well. So each one of them with that marquetry on the top. I wonder where they came from. Nice model. Model of a motorbike here. You push the button which starts the engine, and as you change the second, push the second button, it then changes gear. Unfortunately, I'm getting a lot of reflection.
Neutral.
This says a working model car chassis of the Home Company of Germany. Super steerable game. Another one at the end here. The marathon cycle race. So there's a little game here, the new driving test. So it says insert the coin in the slot and turn the hand gently to the right, and then it gives you a rating on what your driving skill would be. A Grand Prix racer. Fantastic machines here, look. Another one for a cycle race. And machine here, it says this machine is over 50 years old. This is your road test. So obviously you've got a steering wheel here, and as the road moves along you I guess steer and try and keep the car on the road. Just turn the wheel gently and you can see the car moving across. Here we go, we're going to have a go at this one. Interesting concept, but not exactly a great deal of penalty for getting it wrong. I can see you're driving like normal. I haven't set the top here. There is a clock keeping a track of all the penalties that are made. Which, going on the way you're driving, yeah, the clock isn't working because it's still reading 0. Collection of cigarette cards and bicycles. There's a penny farthing with a, well, I've not seen one of those before. So you've got outrigger wheels on here, so it's effectively a four-wheeler but with a big drive wheel in the middle. Wow. Got various bikes through here. Nice little go-kart. Again, another James bikes there. Make I hadn't heard of. Got the saddle on the one at the top there. Let me just zoom in. Sort of hung on a kind of hammock. And this one down here with a sidecar. Let me just come out here and take a view of the museum. Rally sign just tucked away there. A 1905 Kerry motorbike, and look, this delivery bike. Another steering game. And this wonderful collection of lamps. It's pretty amazing. Just here, collection of badges. There's just all kinds of memorabilia in here.
Now the cameraman's machine takes off to get some aerial picture. Soon perhaps we'll all have dreams.
Spark plugs. The emblems from the front of cars. Regular emblems there. What an amazing collection. RAC badges, membership badges. Collection of those radiator caps with the temperature inside. From the balcony there's a real vantage point here to see all of the tops of the petrol pumps along the windowsill here. running all the way down this building as far as you can see. Very unique. This is a 1930s fan bike. You can see the little two-stroke motor on the front here and the fan. Two design flaws. First of all the fan did was core the rider, and secondly the front wheel steer, because obviously with two equal sized wheels, the inner wheel is rotating faster than the outer wheel, made it virtually impossible to steer. But concept here for kept for prosperity, built by Hardings of Bath. The other thing I just wanted to point out is below here, if you can see the stands on the floor, these are display stands for cycles. In fact, there's a couple more over here. And indeed the bike shop that I worked in, God knows how many years, you know, probably getting on 35 odd years ago, we did have a few of these stands that were, you know, displaying some of the bikes along with some more modern stands. This is really good to see. Look, there's a museum supporting the poppy appeal on this exhibit here for the war. We've got a 1908 Triumph Model H, sort of set out in this sort of trenches scene. What have we got round here? There's a bike retrofitted, or I say retrofitted, fitted with the Smith's motor wheel, so it's sort of mounted to the side of the rear stay. You can see this two-stroke engine here. That's quite a collection in here. I'll just pan along very slowly as I walk through. There's a rally down here fitted with a two-stroke engine. (1913) Sunbeam, another rally. This is a Rally Wisp, an Aerial 3 made by BSA. There's a 1933 Rally Ladies with rod brakes on them. Wow, there's some bikes in here. What a collection. Just going to go back down here for a second. Just want to show this wall of posters. There's some, yeah, certainly some rally ones in there, and you see Rudge and what else is on here? Peugeot, that's all that, Charles Peugeot. There's another cabinet here, but I'll just pick on this item at the top here. If you can make out the water bottle there with the British emblem on. So that's actually a souvenir from the 1948 London Olympics. And there's a marvellous collection of pedal cars. This bike at the top here with the steering wheel on it. (1962) Moulton. What's this one here? Microbike. So very similar to the, oh, slightly larger, but very similar to what Sinclair did with his A-bike. Look at the Jag pedal car here. Red one there, badged as an MG. There's a Triang pedal car. Let's keep going along the bikes here. It's a modern hybrid there. It's a 1959 Bowden Spacelander. That's quite a novel looking frame on there. I just come through the room and yeah, indeed there's the wall of number plates. Just so much memorabilia. A little sign there for crew. Oxfordshire County Council, please take your litter home. We've got the 1992 Sinclair Zyke. So yeah, this led on from the A bike that Sinclair designed, which was folding, and this one was the first version of a sort of electric bike that you could ride, 1992. And here's the 1985 Sinclair C5. I do actually have one of these. I do own a C5, and yeah, mine's not in as nice condition as this, and mine's been heavily modified, but yeah, great fun to go out in. What's this here? This is a 1956 Vincent Armada water scooter, so I'm guessing a sort of pre-runner to the jet skis that we see now. You see the petrol pumps and the petrol pump top glasses that you can see at the top there. This leaves our introduction. The DeLorean with the gold wing doors. This should have been a very special car. But yeah, there's a whole story connected with that, isn't there? We've got a Capri, 1982 Ford Capri. It says on there, one owner from new. And 1986 Ford Sierra Cosworth. Yeah, my father-in-law had one of these. What a car. And they're worth a king's ransom now. They cost an absolute fortune if you want to buy one of these. I mean, we're talking, I believe they're almost £100,000 if you want one of those now. And a Mazda RX-7. It's quite an early one, that one. 1985, this one. Yeah, I can't film inside. This is a Speedway bike from 2006. Speedway champion Jason Krupp's bike. 1992 Chevrolet Corvette. The seats inside. I just want to show you this. This air pump, portable air pump. But look at the Michelin Man. He's kind of holding the air hose to his mouth there. Wonderful. Very early Ducati here. In 1984. We've got an MG. 2002 MG. And a few bikes to finish with here. You see the weigh scales over the back here. What a fantastic museum. Right, just across the car park is the second building to the museum, and this is dedicated to the Campbell family, obviously Donald and Malcolm. So the first thing that we see here is they're all replicas in here, but this is Malcolm Campbell's Bluebird car. You can see the sheer size of it. So this is a replica that was built for the BBC for one of the programmes that they were producing in 1997. And this is, as I say, is a replica, but it's certainly a well done replica. I mean, really, you wouldn't know otherwise. But it's quite a size. I seem to recall the real one being possibly in Bewley, the Bewley Motor Museum. I'm not totally sure. I will look it up and maybe I'll put caption in the video when I get home. It's certainly a size. You can see the size of the wheels on this. Absolutely huge. Very mean looking car. And I'm just going back to the notes on this. So the Bluebird car, so Malcolm Campbell, that's Donald's father, in 1935 achieved 301 miles an hour in this. So it's 301.129 mile an hour, and it was the last land speed record that he set, eventually being beaten by Thunderbolt at 311 miles an hour 2 years later. This is Donald Campbell's Land Rover. So this was actually registered to him at the time of his death, and his name remained, it says here, remained on the logbook 8 months after, he had his crash on Lake Coniston. And as I say, so this is another one of Donald Campbell's cars that are in the museum. And then in the cabinet here, all kinds of bits of memorabilia and very connected with the land speed record and indeed the Campbell family. Got all these land speed record cars. Another Bluebird car here. We've got the model K7 Bluebird, Donald Campbell's boat. There's a model kit of the boat there. This is a model of Malcolm Campbell's boat, the K4. You can see the Marcano model. It's very good. There's another one here. Captain Campbell's Bluebird. So this car here is a 1997 Bluebird electric. So it's the British electric speed record holder, or was. So it basically did in 2000 on Pendown Sands, hit 137 miles an hour, and it was actually driven by Malcolm Campbell's grandson, Don Wales. Yeah, it's quite interesting. So here we got. So this is a replica of Bluebird K7. So this is the boat that Donald Campbell was driving on Coniston in 1967, where it did in fact flip on the 4th of January, and as we know, killed Donald Campbell when the boat crashed. There's well, if you're not aware, Bluebird was brought to the surface, I think, about year 2000, and they did find Donald Campbell's body, and he was given a burial in the local cemetery. But the boat has then gone on to be rebuilt by a team in the northeast, and there's now a bit of a legal battle over who owns the boat, whether it's the team that rebuilt it, that found it, brought it to the surface, or the Campbell family. And sadly, that is going to court in a few weeks' time. So again, this boat was commissioned by the BBC, this time for a film Across the Lake. The Anthony Hopkins film was made in 1988, and this was the replica boat that was built for that programme. I'm just trying to see if he actually made a record attempt in here. Yeah, so just reading here, between July 1955 and 64, Donald Campbell sets 7 water speed records, different occasions, right up to 276 miles an hour. And he was going for the 300 mile an hour when he had the accident. And this boat over here again is another replica, but this is Malcolm Campbell's 1939 boat. This is K4. So this boat, Malcolm Campbell set the world record, water speed record, at 141 miles an hour, and that record remained until his death in 1948. It was then driven again in 1950 by Donald Campbell, his son, who took it to 152 miles an hour. And then it says here in May 1951 it was travelling at an estimated 150 to 160 mile an hour when K4 hit a submerged lock and sank. After salvage, K4 was stripped of all valuable parts and the rest of it was burned. So this is a faithful replica of the boat, as close as it possibly can be. I was just reading here that it's also, this was brought together with the Bluebird car, the original Bluebird car, not the replica that's standing behind me, and also the seaplane from the Schneider Trophy, which I saw last week in the Science Museum. And in 2004 these were all brought together at the Goodwood Festival of Speed to celebrate Rolls-Royce's centenary. So yeah, this is about as close as you're going to get to K4. Yeah, what an amazing place. So the Lakeland Motor Museum, it's one of those places where I was actually looking for places to visit while I was away, and I saw this on the map on Google and thought, well, that looks interesting, so I'll take a trip up there. And to be fair, probably wouldn't have looked had I not been doing the channel. So I mean, this is what this channel's done for me. It's got me out of the house and got me visiting places that otherwise, were of interest to me, but I, wouldn't have gone out my way to go and visit them. So yeah, fantastic place, and £11 entry to get in, well worth the value. I'd highly recommend coming. The camera just can't do it justice. Everywhere you look, there's more artifacts. There's so many things here. So yeah, fantastic museum, and as I say, highly recommended. Anyway, we'll leave this video there. If you've enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up, and if you can have a look at my other videos if they interest you. If you'd like to subscribe, I'd be really grateful. And yeah, we'll leave this one there. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.